There's a silent moment when the soul whispers truths the mind hasn't yet grasped, and it's in that instant we realize our intuition already knew something our eyes refuse to see. Infidelity isn't just a physical or emotional act in a moment of weakness. It's a reflection of deep karmic patterns, spiritual scars that cross lifetimes and manifest as an inner storm that never found true healing. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, taught us that every human behavior carries the seeds of past experiences, and that romantic betrayal is often the repetition of a cosmic drama the soul hasn't yet resolved. When we observe a man prone to infidelity, we're not just seeing an individual who chose disloyalty, we're witnessing a soul that hasn't yet learned to integrate its inner polarities, that hasn't unified its earthly desires with its deeper spiritual quest. Cayce often spoke of how relationships are mirrors of the soul, and infidelity is one of the most painful reflections we can find in that mirror, revealing not only the wound of the betrayer, but also the karmic patterns of the betrayed. The first sign the soul recognizes, even when the mind resists, is that inexplicable unease that arises from nowhere. It's as if something inside you knows the energy around you has shifted, that there's a subtle dissonance in the energetic field you two share. According to Cayce's teachings, souls connected by karmic bonds develop a natural telepathic sensitivity, and when one partner breaks the sacred pact of union, that break resonates as a painful echo in the other's heart. You begin to feel a strange sensation, like something is out of place, but you can't quite explain what it is. This unease manifests in subtle ways. You wake up in the middle of the night for no apparent reason, feel a tightness in your chest when he comes home, or notice your intuition is sharper than usual. Cayce always said the soul doesn't lie, and when it starts sending these signals, it's because it's trying to awaken your consciousness to a truth that needs to be faced. The universe conspires to make you see what you need to see, even when it hurts. The second sign reveals itself through subtle shifts in communication. A man developing emotional or physical connections with someone else inevitably alters his communication pattern with you. It's not just that he talks less, it's that the quality of energy behind his words has changed. According to Cayce, each word carries a specific vibration, and when someone is splitting their emotional energy, that division is reflected in how they express themselves. He might start giving shorter answers, avoiding deep conversations, or displaying an impatience that wasn't there before. You notice that conversations that once flowed naturally now feel forced, as if he's physically present but spiritually absent. Cayce taught that when a soul is fragmented, dividing itself between different emotional realities, it loses its ability to authentically connect with any of them. It's as if he's trying to maintain several versions of himself at the same time, and this creates an energetic fatigue that manifests as emotional distance. The third sign emerges through changes in intimate behavior. True intimacy isn't just physical, it's the ability of two souls to meet in a sacred space of vulnerability and mutual surrender. When a man is being unfaithful, this capacity for genuine surrender is compromised because he can no longer access that sacred place within himself. Cayce often spoke about how sexual energy is one of the most powerful forces in the universe, and when that energy is dispersed or divided, it loses its ability to create deep and transformative connections. You may notice that physical intimacy has decreased, but more than that, you sense that when you're together, he isn't truly present. It's as if he's going through the motions, but his soul is elsewhere. According to Cayce's teachings, true intimacy is only possible when both souls are completely present and open to each other. And when that doesn't happen, sexual energy becomes mechanical and empty. The fourth sign manifests through inexplicable changes in routine. A man developing an emotional or physical connection with another person inevitably needs to find time and space for this new connection. This is reflected in subtle but consistent alterations in his daily routine. He might start working late more frequently, develop new hobbies or interests that don't include you, or find excuses to leave the house more often than usual. Cayce taught that time is an illusion of the human mind, but that in the spiritual dimension, All energy invested in one direction diminishes the energy available for other directions. When he starts investing time and emotional attention in another person, this inevitably reduces the energy he has available to you. You feel this as a subtle but constant absence, as if he's physically present but spiritually absent. The fifth sign reveals itself through changes in your own energy and intuition. According to Cayce, when we're karmically connected to someone, we develop a natural sensitivity to that person's energetic patterns. When your partner is being unfaithful, you may start having strange dreams, sudden intuitions, or inexplicable physical sensations. Your body may start reacting to his presence in different ways. You may feel tension, anxiety, or a sense of unease you can't rationally explain. Signs your partner might be emotionally distant. Cayce always said the body is the temple of the soul, and when the soul detects a dissonance in its energy field, it communicates this through physical and emotional signs. You might start feeling more tired, experience frequent headaches, or feel a restlessness you can't quite place. These are signs that your soul is processing a truth your mind isn't ready to accept yet. At this point in our conversation, I'd like to extend a special invitation. If this message resonates with you, if you feel these words carry a truth you needed to hear, I invite you to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. It's not just to receive more videos, it's to connect with a community of souls who, like you, are seeking to understand the deeper mysteries of human relationships and the spiritual journey. Your presence here is no coincidence, and your journey of awakening deserves to be nurtured with wisdom and compassion. The sixth sign manifests through changes in social behavior. A man who is developing outside connections often alters his social dynamics in subtle ways. He might start mentioning new names frequently, show a sudden interest in events or activities he previously disregarded, or start paying more attention to his physical appearance. Cayce taught that when the soul is split between different realities, it needs to adapt its personality to fit each context, and this creates a fragmentation visible to a keen observer. You might notice he's more concerned with his looks, buying new clothes, or changing his style in a way that doesn't seem natural. It's not ordinary vanity, it's an unconscious attempt to create a new version of himself that's appealing to this new connection. According to Cayce, when a soul is trying to impress someone new, it often abandons authentic aspects of itself to create a persona it considers more desirable. The seventh sign emerges through shifts in overall emotional energy. A man who is being unfaithful carries a conflicting energy that manifests as inexplicable mood swings, increased irritability, or moments of sudden emotional distance. Cayce always said that guilt and anxiety are emotions that create turbulence in the auric field, and when someone is living a lie, that turbulence becomes palpable to those attuned to their energy. You might notice he's more defensive than usual, overreacts to simple questions, or displays a tension that wasn't there before. It's as if he's constantly on high alert, fearing discovery. According to Cayce's teachings, truth has its own vibrational frequency, and when someone is living in opposition to that frequency, it creates a dissonance that affects all aspects of their personality. The eighth sign reveals itself through changes in technological dynamics. In the modern world, our electronic devices have become extensions of our emotional lives, and a man developing secret connections inevitably alters his relationship with technology. He might start guarding his phone more zealously, keeping devices face down, or displaying anxiety when you approach him while he's using electronics. Cayce taught that secrets create energetic fields of resistance, and in the contemporary world, this resistance often manifests through our relationship with technology. When someone is hiding something important, this need for privacy becomes a palpable energy that can be sensed by those emotionally connected. You might feel there's an invisible wall between you, built not just by unspoken words, but by a network of small secrets and omissions. The ninth sign manifests through changes in the capacity for emotional intimacy. Cayce always emphasized that true intimacy is the ability of two souls to recognize and accept each other in their totality. When a man is being unfaithful, he gradually loses his ability to connect emotionally in an authentic way, because part of his emotional energy is being channeled elsewhere. You might notice that deep conversations have become rare, that he avoids topics that were once natural, or that there's a subtle but persistent barrier between you. This change is particularly painful because it's not just the absence of intimacy, it's the presence of intimacy being shared with someone else. According to Cayce, when a soul is split between different emotional connections, it can't fully surrender to any of them, creating a sense of emptiness and incompleteness that both partners feel even when they can't explain what's happening. The 10th sign emerges through changes in sexual energy and physical connection. Cayce taught that sexual energy is one of the most sacred forces in the universe, and when this energy is dispersed or divided, it loses its ability to create deep and transformative connections. You might notice that physical intimacy has decreased not only in frequency but in quality and intensity. There's a sense that he's physically present but spiritually absent, as if he's going through the motions but his soul is elsewhere. According to Cayce's teachings, true sexual intimacy is an act of spiritual communion, where two souls meet in a sacred space of vulnerability and mutual surrender. When one partner is channeling their sexual energy elsewhere, this capacity for genuine communion is compromised, creating a sense of emptiness and disconnection that can be deeply felt by both partners. The 11th sign reveals itself through shifts in the capacity for genuine presence. Cayce always said that true presence is a state of consciousness where the soul is fully aligned with the present moment, able to authentically connect with what's happening around it. When a man is being unfaithful, he gradually loses this capacity for genuine presence because part of his consciousness is constantly preoccupied with maintaining his double life. You may notice that even when he's physically present, there's a quality of distraction or absence that wasn't there before. It's as if he's constantly split between different realities, unable to fully surrender to any of them. According to Cayce, when the soul is fragmented, it loses its ability to access deep states of consciousness and connection, creating a sense of superficiality that affects all aspects of the relationship. The 12th sign manifests through changes in the dynamics of trust and transparency. Cayce taught that trust is the foundation upon which all genuine connections are built, and when that foundation is shaken, the entire structure of the relationship begins to transform. You may start to notice small inconsistencies in his stories, details that don't quite fit together, or a general feeling that not everything is being shared with you. This erosion of transparency doesn't happen all at once. It's a gradual process that manifests through subtle omissions, half-truths, and little secrets that accumulate over time. According to Cayce, when a soul is living in opposition to its deepest truth, it creates energetic fields of resistance that can be sensed by those attuned to its energy. The 13th sign emerges through changes in conflict resolution skills. Cayce always emphasized that the ability to resolve conflicts in a healthy way is one of the hallmarks of a mature and conscious relationship. When a man is being unfaithful, he often loses this ability because he's carrying an unconscious guilt that prevents him from genuinely engaging in problem solving. You may notice that arguments that were once resolved with dialogue and mutual understanding now become more tense and difficult to resolve. This change happens because he can no longer access that inner space of honesty and vulnerability that's necessary to resolve conflicts authentically. According to Cayce, when a soul is divided, it can't fully commit to any given situation, creating a sense of instability and inconsistency that affects all aspects of the relationship. The 14th sign reveals itself through changes in the overall energy of the relationship. Cayce taught that every relationship has its own energetic signature, a unique frequency that's created by the interaction between the two souls involved. When one partner is being unfaithful, this energetic signature palpably alters, creating a feeling that something fundamental has shifted in the dynamic between you. You may sense that the energy that once flowed naturally between you is now blocked or distorted, as if there's a subtle but persistent interference in the energetic field you share. According to Cayce, when a soul is divided between different connections, it can no longer fully contribute to the creation of a harmonious frequency in the relationship, creating a sense of dissonance that can be deeply felt by both partners. The 15th and final sign manifests through changes in your own intuition and perceptive abilities. Cayce always said that when we're karmically connected to someone, we develop a natural sensitivity to that person's energetic patterns. When your partner is being unfaithful, you may start having sudden insights, revealing dreams, or physical sensations that seem to have no rational explanation. Your intuition may start sending you increasingly clear signals, like an inner voice whispering truths your mind isn't yet ready to accept. According to Cayce, the soul always knows the truth, even when the personality is in denial. And when we reach a point where the truth needs to be revealed, the universe conspires to make it happen through signs, synchronicities, and intuitions that become impossible to ignore. It's important to understand that recognizing these signs isn't a matter of paranoia or unnecessary distrust. It's a matter of honoring the wisdom of your soul and the capacity you have to perceive subtle truths through your developed intuition. Cayce always emphasized that every soul has access to an infinite source of inner wisdom, and that when we learn to trust this wisdom, it becomes a reliable guide for navigating the complexities of human relationships. When you recognize these signs, it's important to remember that infidelity isn't just an act of betrayal. It's often a symptom of deeper spiritual wounds that need to be healed. According to Cayce, often souls that betray are repeating karmic patterns from past lives, trying to resolve issues of abandonment, rejection, or an inability to authentically connect with true love. This doesn't mean you should accept the betrayal or remain in a situation that doesn't honor your dignity and worth as a human being. It means you can choose to see the situation through a wider spiritual lens, understanding that both you and he are involved in a process of spiritual learning and growth that can be painful but also transformative. Cayce taught that every difficult experience in our lives is an opportunity for us to develop greater wisdom, compassion, and spiritual understanding. When you find yourself in a situation of infidelity, you have the opportunity to practice true forgiveness. Not the forgiveness that ignores the pain or accepts unacceptable behaviors, but the forgiveness that acknowledges the imperfect humanity in all of us and chooses to respond with wisdom instead of reacting with anger or revenge. According to Cayce, healing from betrayal isn't just about resolving the external situation. It's about using that experience to awaken deeper aspects of your own soul. You may discover reserves of inner strength you didn't know you possessed, develop a deeper understanding of your own relationship patterns, or find a new clarity about what you truly want and deserve in a relationship. Remember that your ability to perceive these signs is a spiritual gift that should be honored and developed. Cayce always said that intuition is the language of the soul, and when you learn to trust this language, it becomes a powerful tool for navigating not only relationships but all aspects of your life. As you continue your spiritual awakening journey, you may find that your ability to perceive subtle truths expands to other areas of your life. You may become more sensitive to the energies of the people around you, more able to recognize opportunities disguised as challenges, or more skilled at discerning between choices that honor your deepest truth and those that contradict it. The experience of infidelity, however painful, can become a catalyst for a deeper spiritual awakening. It can force you to question limiting beliefs about love, examine unconscious patterns in your relationships, or develop a more mature understanding of what it means to truly love, both yourself and others. Cayce frequently spoke about how the most challenging experiences of our lives are often the ones that provide us with the most valuable opportunities for spiritual growth. When you choose to view infidelity through this spiritual lens, you transform an experience of victimhood into an opportunity for empowerment and transformation. At the end of this journey of acknowledgement and healing, you may find that you have emerged as a wiser, stronger, and more compassionate version of yourself. You may have developed a deeper understanding of the mysteries of the human heart, a greater ability to trust your intuition, or a renewed clarity about the kind of love you wish to create in your life.
As you reflect on these words and on the signs your soul has already acknowledged, remember that you are not walking this journey alone. There is an ancestral wisdom that flows through each of us, a connection to the infinite source of love and wisdom that Edgar Cayce taught us to honor and cultivate. Trust this wisdom, honor your intuition, and allow your soul to guide you toward the true love you deserve, whether through healing your current relationship or through creating a new chapter in your love journey. What question is your soul asking right now, and what truth is it trying to whisper to your heart that you haven't yet had the courage to fully hear?